All right, Bridgevine. This is one of the many linear degenerate decks in Modern. This deck gets hosed by Graveyard Hate like a lot of them. It's capable of putting a lot of power into play very quickly. In my experience, it's a deck that tends to reward you for mulliganing aggressively. This is an archetype that doesn't need a ton of things to go off, but it's looking for very specific cards to go off. This deck popped up to a huge amount of popularity after Stitcher Supplier was printed, and then people kind of quickly realized that it wasn't doing anything particularly special compared to the other busted decks in Modern, and then people, like, after playing a little bit, went back to their normal, like, you know, Storms and Trons and other degenerate things that exist in the format, and this is just another deck that's, like, doing something objectively powerful and moderately consistent. It's another deck looking to leverage and abuse the card Faithless Looting. That's very, very good in Modern. If you're registering Faithless Looting or Ancient Stirrings, you're probably doing something correct in this format. It's lethal with the 12-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I knight thee, Defender of the Realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. Yeah, Kent unfortunately lives in Seattle, so next time he's out this way, I'll probably have him over, but it's tough to get him out too often. I think this is an okay keep. Ah, yes. The armchair Magic players. Why didn't we mulligan? I don't know. Tell me why we mulliganed. Form a coherent thought. Don't just sit there and tell me I'm wrong. This hand needs a second land. But I can probably miss on the second land till turn 2 or 3 and be okay. JK, they're going to kill us on 3. I did talk about this deck getting rewarded for aggressive mulliganing, but at the same time, why is this hand bad? If we're supposed to mulligan, tell me why. Be constructive, be specific, or take a 10-minute break. What's going on, Angelo? Hope you're having a swell one. This is, in fact, live. Welcome to Modern. Enjoy your stay. Didn't really matter if we mulligan there. We're dead. All right, I'm gonna board in Lightning Bolt and Lightning Axe. Or go-to trims. I feel like it's some amount of zeros and a Gargadon, a Bushwhacker. I feel like we like trim off of these a good deal. In my experience, all of the Devoted Druid decks in Modern tend to be incredibly fragile and inconsistent. Actually, inconsistent is the wrong word. Fragile is a better description. The decks don't play through Disruption well, and the rate at which they combo tends to not be that much faster than something like Storm. So they end up being these Storm-style combo decks that are less resilient, in my experience. Ditch these two. Hold this Bolt for Devoted Druid. Alright, we have played the version with Evolution and Lunge on stream before. That still didn't feel redundant enough. Still just got picked apart by interaction and outraced by other linear decks. I probably should get another black-red land there. So we ditched a Gravecrawler and a Vengevine here. So if I draw any other zombie, I get to flip the Vengevine back into play, which is kind of nice. So hoping to draw another Gravecrawler or a Stitcher Supplier here. I don't think actual Birthing Pod is fast enough for the current Modern format. Slower, more easier to die. Slower dies to removal Birthing Pod is probably even worse. Yeah, I didn't make my decision to do a little bit of Modern into a bunch of standard at random, punishing waterfalls. It was a data-driven decision. This was consistently getting similar numbers at the end of last year when I was doing the individual days like all standard versus all modern. It is a little bit depressing. I think I agree with that. There's some interesting games to be had, but a lot of them are like exploding type games as opposed to like interesting quality gameplay type games. Oh, I think I just Faithless Looting here. I think I keep the Neonate, because this way, if I draw another brick next turn, I can go Neonate, cycle the brick, hopefully find a creature, get the Vengevine back. It'll be interesting to see what the viewer numbers are like tomorrow. I wonder if they'll be about the same today or if they could be better or worse. I think there's a chance they could be better because, like, basically everybody who streams Magic other than me is probably going to be streaming the new Arena event. And I'll be here streaming Legacy and then Modern. I don't think so, AGH. I think the not having interaction here is bad. Like, look at my opponent's health total. I need ways to, like, keep myself alive. Like, a beater doesn't race Devoted Druid comboing me. That's just not how this matchup works. We have to be a bad control deck because our hand wasn't fast enough. And like getting one Vengevine isn't fast enough to race what they're doing on average. Wow! So we're super dead. That is that's great. I'm done. This might be a quick league. That's good. Good play. Opponent recognized they needed to be interactive and disrupt us. It's incredibly rude. I had like 2 lightning axes in my deck, but like the odds of finding those are like slim to none. On our way to a 3-2, potentially. Or waiting for this to pop. Ooh, excuse me. Infinite T. Thank you very much for the 11-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Thanks for hanging out, folks. My name is Jeff Hogan. We hang out, we play some Modern, we play some Legacy, we play some Standard on Magic Arena. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. I do this as my full-time gig. As always, a big shout out to my subscribers. I wouldn't be able to be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. They are the folks that keep me employed. By subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their Standard, Modern, or Legacy tournaments, you can also find them at twitch.tv/NRG series. MTGOtraders.com will love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you just go to Hoagland PayPal and check out with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there with them. So be sure to check them out if you'd like to play some Modern or Legacy yourself on the computer. BCWsupplies.com would love to help you protect your very valuable paper Magic the Gathering cards. They do sleeves, deck boxes, binders, and all sorts of other gaming accessories. You can save 10% on your orders there with code Jeff10. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Thanks for dropping by our little slice of the internet here today. I wouldn't be here without all of y'all. I know there's a lot of people making a lot of great stuff, and thanks for dropping in. We're heading into the second match with Bridgevine here, so we can have a little bit more explosive hand this time around. Just kind of flopped about a bit in the first game. First match. What does this hand do? This hand puts Vengevine into play on turn 1. We go Neonate, ditch Vengevine, play Ballista, attack for 4. Cavern on Spirit, Aether Vial. Okay. Can you make someone a mod if they're currently timed out? I don't think so. Get him. Vengevine and Phoenix are really pretty similar in design, aren't they? Vengevine's like a green ground pounding Phoenix in a way. Let's see if they have a Path to Exile here or not. Path to Exile would at least get us a second land, which would be kind of nice. Oh, you know what? I messed up. In the event they have a Path here and they didn't do it during my upkeep, maybe I should have thrown Greater Gargadon out because they can't respond to the suspend. I don't know. If they had Path, they should probably do it during my upkeep. Or my draw step, one of the two. I think it's better to play Stitcher Supplier here and like get my graveyard filled up potentially. Like, find some more action. And if they have a path, there's also, like, the flip side of that. Like, I kind of wouldn't mind getting a land here. I'm gonna get the second black. I can't kick the Bushwhackers off of it, but second black lets me go Seer into Gravecrawler next turn, which is kind of nice. My opponent's got Cavern on Spirit. So we're hoping to find like another Bridge from Below or Vengevines when I sacrifice the Supplier next turn. And if I find Vengevines, I can Gravecrawler them into play. Got a Lordy. Yep. Have a good one, Mikey. Catch you tomorrow. Swing and a miss. I think I'm just going to go ahead and looting here. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Gravecrawler because Gravecrawler plus Gargadon creates a stream of 2/2s. Could also like hit a land with this Faithless Looting though, which would be appealing. If I hit a Black Source here, I get to like put Gravecrawler into play. Oh, geez, they have a... That's rough. That gets rid of my bridge too. So much for that plan. Nice, Brad. Was that like an old name that was like taken back on like Justin TV? So now we just like lose to the Bogles half of their deck, basically. It's gonna kill us in 2 in the air. Am I dead in the air? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm feeling why this deck kind of burned out. We went 1 and 3 with Shadow Ozar. Fair Magic is meh. Hangarback's pretty important in this matchup because it creates blockers. Probably trim a Bushwhacker and a Gargadon. I don't think I want to bring in Lightning Axe because my opponent's deck has a lot of counter spells. They do board in some number of Rest in Peace, so like maybe I'm supposed to board in Destructive Revelry preemptively, but I don't know that I can really afford to bring in Revelry and Rip because my deck like already has absurd consistency issues, so I think there's an argument to just like, especially on the play, trying to just run them over. On the draw, I think I'm going to fit the Revelries in, but I'm going to leave them out in the play. We don't really care about Vial. It's like not a card that's relevant. It just doesn't do anything. It's just like also doesn't do anything. Is it better than 5? I guess I get to play Viscera Seer into Hangarback and start activating Hanger. Seems reasonable. Hangarback's like pretty good in this matchup. It's okay, Burgle. You can tell the truth that you just don't love me anymore. I can take it. I'm a big boy. I loved you enough to file a help request with Twitch. Bless up, Burgle. You wonderful. And not enough to follow up when they didn't respond. Radagash, thanks for the sub gifty. Yeah, I think I concur with your assessment, Blair. Feels a little bit mediocre here. I think if we die here, we'll try one more match, but if we don't get to do our thing by then, we'll probably just call it a day. Like I said, I think this is just like another one of the myriad of this deck is kind of okay and occasionally has busted draws, but overall is probably a little bit more inconsistent than Storm. That's what it comes down to. Oh no, not a choo-choo, chat. It's a less sweet version of Bubble Hulk. Yeah, Bubble Hulk's definitely got some sweetness going on. They're gonna like Spell Queller when I hardcast this Vengevine. Yeah, I'm pretty off it. Let's try one more. Maybe we'll get to blow up and like show what we're trying to do at least once before we call it. All right, I've got a land and a Faithless Looting. What more could a boy want? My opponent's 1 and 3. God bless. I'll play the Viscera Seer on one here. Am I? No, I'm gonna suspend the Gargadon. Actually, I'm gonna hold the Viscera Seer in case we find a Vengevine here in a hot second. Yeah, I agree, Marion. I agree with that assessment. Like, the benchmark for being a deck that's not interactive is Storm and KCI, and just, like, a lot of these other decks are just, like, varying degrees worse than KCI and less consistent. You really think nothing's getting bad next week? I think I have no idea what they're going to do, because it feels like they just take darts and throw them at the board. Faithless Looting, ditch a Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Probably Grixis Shadow. Yeah, it's more explosive than Ad Nauseam, though. Ad Nauseam's a pretty slow combo deck, all things considered. Ad Nauseam's actually moderately consistent. It's just slow, is its biggest issue. Okay. It's like almost doing it. This Hangarback Walker gets back a Vengevine and puts a zombie into play from Bridge for Blow. Yeah, I agree, Rolk. I wish they would pooper get off the pot. I wish they would be like, okay, Modern's this degenerate combo cluster, so go ahead and play your combo decks, or Modern's a format that we want to be a turn 4 format, let's actually enforce it. Yeah, Modern feels like a turn like 3 format or so these days, which makes things like that worse for sure. Yeah, attack with idiots. Oh no! Oh no! Oh yeah, I could have gotten a 2/2, right? I could have attacked for lethal air. Sorry, it's been a hot second. I could have sacrificed this, and then I played 2 creatures, so I could have gotten them back. It doesn't matter because they're playing Grixis Shadow, and like this matchup's absurdly good for us. But yeah, I totally could have gotten a zombie there as well. All right, I'm gonna assume they're boarding in Leyline of the Void, and react accordingly. I knew it was K Command because the opponent is 1 and 3 and had 3 mana open. You're so rude, Burgle. Seems pretty reasonable. I get to go Neonate, sack, Bridge, get a 2/2. Neonate, sack, discard Gravecrawler, get a 2/2, bring back Gravecrawler. No, that was a good thing to point out. It's been a hot second since I played this deck, so the play patterns are not as ingrained. You can see examples of the blue-red Phoenix deck from the top 8 of the last SCG. From my understanding and like talking to Ross playing the deck, the Phoenix deck is not a good linear deck. It has bad matchups against things like Storm and KCI. It's not 0%, but it does struggle there. That deck has good matchups against things that are a little bit more fair. Yeah, Death Shadow's like a mid-range deck that has like a pseudo combo in it. Traverse Shadow is not on YouTube, so my OBS doesn't let me record local files while I stream anymore, so things won't be on YouTube for a minimum of an hour until after I'm done with the stream for the day, because I can't start them processing until I'm done streaming. You can, however, find replays on my Twitch highlights almost as soon as I'm done. Probably about 10 minutes after I'm done, I get them all cut up. Yeah, they confirmed a new non-rotating format's going to happen starting in the fall. Traverse Shadow is disappointing, by the way, to give you spoilers. So that archetype's felt worse than Grixis Shadow the last few times I played it. Traverse the Ulvenwald is harder than people like to admit to enable, and the payoff when you enable it is not particularly high. At least that's been my experience with it. Yeah, we did actually. It was fine, Brad. The league we played it in, we didn't have a lot of matches where that type of effect was good, but it felt reasonable. Another Gravecrawler and the Destructive Revelry. There's an Overgrown Tomb in my deck, right? I think so. Yeah, let's just cast Gravecrawler here. They have not announced what set the new format's going to start at. There's a couple different places they could start. We'll see. We'll know. We'll probably know as we get closer to fall. Does that mean Modern's going to get the Legacy treatment? So, Legacy is inaccessible by virtue of the reserve list existing. So, while I think Modern's going to be... Modern's going to become less popular just by virtue of, like, the gameplay it generates being unenjoyable for a lot of people. Like, there's a certain number of people who enjoy playing, like, KCI and Storm Mirrors, but, like, I think those people are fewer and further between than people who enjoy the type of gameplay that, like, Standard or a lower power format generates. Alright, let's hit a Vengevine with this, or two. Wow, that's so unfortunate. Just 0 Vengevine to the top half of our deck, huh? Yep, actual 0. I'd like them to unban things. So, Gurmag Angler, probably. I think the new non-rotating format will come to paper too, definitely. I think here's my hot take on Modern and people in general. Legacy is inaccessible because of the reserve list and monetary reasons, and Modern's only popular because... Modern is only popular with a lot of people because it's the only reasonable alternative, and people don't necessarily like Modern so much as they like Magic, and they like non-rotating Magic formats. So, by virtue of Modern being the only non-rotating Magic format, it has to be popular. They could just be Grixis control. We actually haven't seen Death Shadows out of them yet. Yes, and Standard is coming off of, on top of that, Standard is coming off of a period where it's been bad for, like, the last 3 years. So, like, there's people who generally like Standard that were pushed out of it because Standard was just, like, not worth playing for a long time. I think the new format, yes, definitely. This is such a good attack for me. I get a bridge and I get to mill 3 cards. Oh, I missed a point because of Menace. Thank you for pointing that out. I always forget this card's really scary. Wow, where are my bridges? We've had 1 bridge in 30 cards and 0 Vengevines. It's incredibly frustrating. Gonna anchor win. Catching us right at the tail end. We've been going for like, what's it? We've been going for 7 hours, so this might be the last match even. Enjoy your Inquisition of Kozilek. No, the new format's gonna be non-rotating. Any interest in playing Subnautica on stream? I don't know what that is. I don't really play non-card games on stream. Christy and I occasionally play something like Overwatch together, but we do that on her stream. Which, I don't know about this week, because I think our spare time this week is spent cleaning up the new house, but I think we're supposed to get snowed in again on Saturday. If we get snowed in again on Saturday, we might do an Overwatch stream. They might be a control deck, yeah. Man, I am super off this. Alright, let's draw some Vengevines on the play for game 3. 2 on Sniper. So after watching that game, I feel like I'm not putting them on Shadow, but they had Faithless Looting, so I think I'm still supposed to hedge that they could have Leyline. I think so, Greg. I think that's part of it too. I mentioned that before too, is that like Modern Online felt like it's felt like it's become more brutal. And I don't know if that's just because I have Standard as a point or like as a reference point, or if like a lot of the people that were playing more of the fun decks in Modern have like moved to playing Standard instead, because the fun decks are more competitive in Standard. And Saffron Olives actually tweeted a little bit recently about, you know, feeling like Modern's been a little bit rough too. Like he'd been talking about enjoying Standard more. Or enjoying Legacy more, sorry, specifically from Modern. He's always been into Standard. We had a really good league with 8-Whack. 8-Whack's going to be the deck of the day for sure. That deck just does good, clean, modern things is the best way I can describe it. They called the new format Standard Plus, but that could definitely just be a placeholder name. Huh. I think I'm actually just going to pass here so I can draw that second land. And then turn 2, I'll go land, Neonate, discard Bridge, Neonate, discard Gravecrawler. And I mean, at the end of the day, extras, that's like what the most important thing about every format is, right? Just like whether or not you like a given format or not generally comes down to like, is there a deck that you enjoy playing and you enjoy the play patterns of? Yeah, I've actually brewed a ton of different standard decks. If you hit up the deck queue on my website, there are a bunch of build-around submissions and dealer choice decks that people have added that I've been working on. I don't think Modern necessarily has to completely fall off. I think all of the people who were playing Modern just because it was the best option for a non-rotating format, those people will probably move on. But there's still going to be plenty of people that really like Modern. Because like I said, there are a bunch of people, while it might not be the norm, there are a number of people who really like KCI and Storm and the types of gameplay that those decks generate. And like, that type of gameplay is pretty unique to Modern. And one of the other important things to remember is that especially with Arena and the new format being introduced on Arena, Arena is significantly growing the Magic player base. It's bringing a bunch of new people into Magic. So it's not like for a new format to exist, you have to like take all the Magic players from other formats and put them into it. Some of them will also play it or play it instead of, but a lot of people that are going to come into the new format are people that otherwise wouldn't or weren't Magic players previously. Yikes. Remember that time I boarded in these Destructive Revelries? From remembers? I'm gonna get Anger of the Gods next turn and just hate myself. Ooh, maybe we're not getting Anger of the Gods. That'd be exciting. The fact that they pushed a zombie there means I'm gonna play this Walking Ballista out. If they didn't push the zombie, I would have held this back, but I feel like pushing the zombie implies I'm not getting swept. So hopefully that read is correct. New place is great, Tannen. Having an actual office is nice. Yes, Jeff is short for Jeffrey is my legal name. I don't use Jeffrey for anything. You left Ravenscry in against my Graveyard Synergy deck. Okay, deal. Found a use for the Destructive Revelries, chat. Figured it out. I believe the Pepperidge Farm meme originates with Family Guy. Man, where were you a second ago? Hopefully they Ravenscry me again next turn. That would be great. Karn for the win. What's going on? They want to fire up Creeping Charpit here. They can try and block the Walking Ballista. That's fine. I'm going to get 2 zombies out of it. So this is going to put 4 zombies into play. So they're going to go to 12. This is going to put them to 11. And then... I appreciate the Spunk extras, but I think this is going to be my last match. I'm kind of spent and this deck's kind of medium. I wonder if they have a Fatal Push and they're thinking about pushing their own Tar Pit here. I probably should have done this in response to them activating the Tar Pit to play around that. And Bridge from Below does not have text if you cast it. Price Memory is keeping Liliana of the Veil expensive. I could shoot this to get 2 more zombies. Maybe that's right even. I could shoot it to get 2 more and then replay it. I'm playing the Blackcleave Cliffs out, so that way if I draw a Bridge from Below, I can get a $10 tip from extras. Any thoughts on Modern Delver and Terramander as the 1/1 flyer? Yeah, I think there's a possibility that that's very good. There's also a very real possibility that that's just, like, worse than the Phoenix deck, though. I hope this is lethal. I think it is. I need a Fatal Push to live here. They don't have a removal spell. They're dead. They're taking exactly 11. All right, we managed to beat the Grixis control player who was 1-3. Do I really want to do another one? I don't think I do. I'm kind of off it. This deck's like pretty inconsistent. I think extra summary of that, it being similar to the Phoenix deck while being forced to play cards that are bad to enable what it's doing, and also mulliganing much worse is definitely a thing. In fact, I think I have this on the high potential section of my website, and I'm probably going to demote it to fan favorite after today. Now, Arclight Phoenix and Vengevine would not be good together because those cards are at odds with each other. One requires you to play lots of creatures, the other one wants you to play a lot of spells. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be doing another day of all Legacy and Modern on Magic Online. And then Thursday, and Friday, we're going to be doing all Standard on Arena all day with new cards. So, catch all y'all around later, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Go watch a good Magic player.